Carolina. My name is Aaron Swigert here, and I will be providing the routine weekly briefing for everyone for Central North Carolina. We'll be covering the period for this week all the way through the weekend. All right, so for the upcoming weather pattern here, we're going to be beginning a nice little pattern change for people who hate cold. It'll be brief though, so we'll be warming up into well above normal temperatures by Tuesday. This large but weak area of high pressure is going to be shifting a little bit farther offshore, and we should get a resurgence of some southerly to southwesterly flow, and temperatures getting up into the 50s to 60s even through Wednesday. So that'll be a welcome relief for probably most. But on Wednesday, we'll have another front here in this top right panel. An area of low pressure will move off to the north, and we'll drape a cold front and push that through the area on Wednesday. We should still warm up into this 50s to maybe even 60s down across the south as that cold front is kind of moving through during the day. But that should return us back to near normal temperatures. And then Thursday, not a whole lot going on, but Friday and then especially into the weekend, our attention is going to turn to an area of low pressure that's going to develop out across the southern plains and a front that's going to kind of drape through the southeast portion of the United States. And as that low pressure, you can kind of see in the bottom right-hand panel here, as it approaches us, we're going to expect to see some widespread light to moderate precipitation, and forecast is becoming increasingly likely that's going to be the case for a majority of our area, if not all of our area, especially on Sunday. So we'll talk about going up into the weekend first, and then we'll dive a little bit deeper into the details for the weekend for everyone. So today, tomorrow, and even Wednesday, Thursday, all dry. Not a whole lot of chance for anything as far as much rain chances. We'll have a little bit on Wednesday, maybe from the Triad south and east, more likely down towards Fayetteville and down towards the North Carolina-South Carolina border, but not expecting any kind of significant amounts by any means, maybe some an isolated shower or two along the front, but overall, most places will remain dry. And then our next area of rain will be a little kind of a weak little kind of clipper wave, if you will. Not exactly a clipper wave, but for the sake of argument here, will result in some light, very light precipitation on Friday, and that should quickly move off the coast, and we'll be in a little bit of a lull as we start to head into the system for the weekend. And we'll dive into that here. So I made a graphic here for everyone, a probability of greater than an inch of rainfall. And this is in a 24-hour block. And the time period I chose was late Saturday night into Sunday, which looks to be as far as right now, the best chances for precipitation during that window, that 24-hour window. And for our area across Central North Carolina, we have almost 50% chance of greater than an inch, 24 hours out across the Triad area. 30-ish%, 35%, 40% around the triangle, and then towards the coastal plain around 30% there. And there is a official forecast out from the Weather Prediction Center that does cover the entire weekend now. So it goes all the way through, I think that's 7 a.m. on Monday. And you can kind of see across our area, we have across the northeast around 1.5 to almost 2 inches, and then down towards Raleigh, south and west, closer to 2 to 2.5 inches as far as the official forecast from the Weather Prediction Center. So this is the first forecast that captures the whole event, and we'll see how it trends as we go towards the weekend. Especially tune in on Thursday for a more detailed version of the forecast here. Some locally higher amounts could certainly be possible anywhere throughout this area, but there's a lot of uncertainty as far as the exact amounts, where those highest amounts are going to fall, and then the resultant potential severe and/or flooding risk associated with that. Overall, the pattern is not very indicative of a widespread flooding event, but there is a scenario where a lot of this rain, more steady rain, may shift a little bit farther up north of the area, where we may see some widespread rain during the day on Sunday, but then quickly lifting up into Virginia, and then we may see a secondary, a little bit of a lull when that occurs, and then a secondary surge along and maybe just ahead of the cold front maybe Sunday night. So a lot of uncertainty still to be resolved within the forecast here, but just know the confidence is increasing that we'll see some light to moderate rain across most of the area. And for the most part, as far as confidence goes, that will be a nice welcome amount of rainfall, hopefully, for a majority of the Carolinas, at least as far as the lower end amounts of 1.5 inches. That would do a great deal in helping out the drought conditions there. So this is the drought update from last week, but just to kind of bring the forecast full circle, this would be a welcome amount of rainfall for a majority of the area. As far as severe weather goes, we're not really expecting anything right now, just because there's too much, the predictability is just too low at this time, unfortunately. But as the forecast comes into clearer focus, especially by Thursday or so, we'll probably have a better idea on where that corridor may be. For now, any of the severe risk is well south of our area for the weekend. And we'll take an even longer look out here going into towards the end of February, believe it or not. And during that time, we're slightly favoring some above normal temperatures from the Climate Prediction Center and right around near normal precipitation for the most part. But you can kind of see down across the bottom when I was updating these numbers, our lows, our normal lows for all 3 climate sites would be above freezing during that time from mid to late February. So if anyone's tired of the cold, that's got to be an also welcome relief there. And here's the graphical hazardous weather outlook. Very quiet. We had the very limited risk level for extreme cold there this morning. Lots of teens out there, unless you were in the triad out towards Charlotte. But yeah, very cold this morning. Should be the last cold morning for a while, and those warmer temperatures will be very welcome. And you can kind of see over on the right-hand side here the highs and lows temperatures for this morning in the teens. But our lows, even behind the cold front on Wednesday, really only getting to right around or just above freezing there. That's all I have for everyone for today. Thank you for joining us. Feel free to join us again on Thursday when we have a little bit more greater detail on the forecast for this weekend. But otherwise, have a great week, and we will see you on Thursday.